This is the ultimate housing guide for the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. I'm going to show you how to get every house from the cheapest to the most expensive, which is the one behind me, by the way. I'm also going to show you how to get all of the free ones from all the DLCs that come included in this version of the game. After all that, I'm also going to rank the houses from worst to best. Head on over to the Imperial City Market District for the first house. You're going to go to the right, and around the corner is the Office of Imperial Commerce. Inside of here is a woman named Vincia. You're going to talk to her. She's not going to like you enough to sell you the house, so you'll have to persuade her with the minigame, or you can just bribe her, whichever way you want to do it. I think you have to have 60 with her in order for her to offer you the house, and then say, buy a house in town, and then say, I just happen to have 2,000 gold. And with that, you have your first house. Then go to the south half of the market district to the Three Brothers Trade Goods. Here you can talk to Sergius Varus. This guy has all of the upgrades for this house, which will cost at a base, if you don't barter with him, it'll cost you 3,660 gold. Keep in mind, going forward with any of these houses, you can always persuade these people to like you. And then when you go to bartering, you can try changing the haggle price to save yourself money. And here's the Imperial City house that you just bought. It's the most basic of all the houses. It's also the cheapest of all the houses, other than the free ones at the end. It's over here at the Imperial City waterfront in the northwest section of it. If you zoom in all the way, it's going to be right here. You come in there, it's over here. So this is the Imperial City house. This house comes with a bed, drawers, a chest, shelves, a cupboard, and some painting of one of the shrines in the game, as well as a fireplace and some chairs. While it's not the most fancy of homes, it'll get the job done. Also, all the storage is safe to store your stuff in forever. Now head over to the Breville fast travel point in the southern part of the map. Go south until you get to this part and go left across this bridge. Inside of here is Castle Breville, where you can find the Count, who will sell you a house. He should be on his throne between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. If he's not there, try again another day. This is Count Regulus Terentius. So go ahead and talk to him and say, buy a house in town. He won't want to do it unless you persuade him to like you. Again, you can bribe him or you can play the minigame. I'm just going to bribe him for the sake of time. You need to be at least 60 disposition. Buy a house in town. He'll talk about how ugly it is and then say, I think 4,000 gold is a fair price. Now head back to the northern part of town where you fast travel in from. The second place on your left when you come in from town is this place, the Fair Deal. Inside of here is Nilowen. Talk to this person and barter with them. They'll sell every single upgrade for that house. The total cost of these upgrades without haggling is 3,900 gold, which will put the total cost at 7,900 gold. So it's 4,000 to buy, 3,900 to fully upgrade. Now head to the southern half of Breville. You'll see this rope bridge that gets across the river. Go across it and go left. The second house on the right is the house. So this is what it looks like. The one on top is not part of the house. That's someone else's house, so you only get the bottom. This house comes with an actual closet, which has a chest inside of it because they didn't actually design a wardrobe chest. Then we have this little thing, which is nothing. We have this, which is nothing. It's all cosmetic, but it looks like it should be something. We have drawers, chest, drawers, chairs, a table to eat at, which you can't eat in this game anyway like that, a cupboard, and more stuff that doesn't really matter at all. And there's a double bed in here, so basically a queen-size bed, and a fireplace, and this painting of some poorly drawn nature scene. Now go to the western edge of the map to Anvil. Go to the Anvil Dock Gate. It'll look like this. Go to the right of the tree, and there is a tavern right here called the Count's Arms. If you go here during the day, you should be able to find this guy somewhere, Velwyn Benirus. So this one's the most complicated of all the houses by far. So you're going to ask this guy about this manor. He's going to sell it to you for 5,000 gold, which seems like a great deal. Head over to the northeastern part of town like this, and there's the manor. It's pretty fancy. There are no upgrades that you can actually purchase for this thing. So it's got this staircase that goes up. It's pretty fancy for 5,000 gold. But when you come in, it's pretty destroyed. And it doesn't stay like this. So what you got to do is go into this door. And then go into this door. And then go up the stairs. And then go through this door. And then sleep in this bed for any amount of time. When you do this, you'll be attacked by ghosts. So what you need to do is either attack and kill the ghost, or just run for your lives. I think they don't take damage from basic weapons. I think you have to have an enchanted weapon or have to use magic, but I'm not 100% on that. At the entrance of the house, there is this right here, a cupboard, and it has an urn that fell over that has a skeleton hand, which you will need later in this quest, and a scrap from Lorgan's diary. So go ahead and take this. Make sure you take it at the bottom. Don't close this. Take this. You need this. Now head back to the Anvil Dock Gate and go back to the Count's Arms. Inside of here, talk to the barkeeper, or Wilbur, whatever, and you're going to ask about Benirus or whatever his name was. After that, it should update your quest about him, And now he should be marked in the Imperial City at the Elven Garden District. Once you get here, you'll go up these stairs and you'll turn to the right. It'll be the first door on the right. You should be able to find him in here. Go ahead and talk to him. And you're going to ask him about the manor. And then after that, you're going to ask about Lord Beneris. If he does not agree to go with you to lift the curse, so you're going to say lift the curse. If he won't do it, you need to persuade him to like you. But if he likes you enough, after you say this, he'll say he'll meet you at the manor. Now head back to the Count's Arms again in Anvil. By the way, that last step, if you couldn't get it to work, you need to have the note on you when you talk to him, or else he will never come here. So now talk to him and say, yes, I'm ready, and he will slow walk you all the way over there. Once you get in here, he'll tell you that you need to lead the way. So go ahead and go through here, kill any ghosts that you see. And then after that, you're going to go here to this basement. Inside of the basement, you're going to have to slay even more ghosts in order to get him to go through here. At the bottom of the basement, it will have this area right here where he will do a very lengthy extended animation. He is not broken unless he stays here for more than like a minute. And after a while, it'll progress the quest. Then it'll pop this up. He'll turn and run away. And then you can open this up and then wait. It'll start opening inward like this. And then you can get in here and you can talk to this dead guy. He'll talk for a long time. Once he's done talking, you need to go get that hand if you didn't already get it that we talked about earlier, and then activate this. Then he'll talk a bunch more. After that, Ghost will get summoned in here, Lauren Beneris, and you need to kill him. Now head back to the Anvil Dock Gate again. Go back to the Count's Arms, find Velwood Beneris again, talk to him again, and that will finish the quest. After the quest, the manor will be fully repaired and fully upgraded. The final version will look like this. So we have really fancy stuff in here compared to the last two. A cupboard over here, more stuff that's purely decorative, some drawers over here. We go through here into the dining room, which is pretty fancy. There's actually cupboards over here to store stuff in as well. We got more cupboards over here. We have the whole basement, which is kind of crazy, but not that fancy, honestly. The ectoplasm stuff, it'll go away eventually after a few days. More cupboards, drawers. We got the bed. Inside of here, we have another door, which leads into this area, which is pretty fancy. We also have this door, which leads into a little office that has a chest, some drawers. It has a desk that you can actually open and use. And outside of here is a door to Anvil, which will actually lead you to the first balcony that we get. So you actually get your own balcony here. Super, super fancy. Also, if you ever look in this window, there's actually, you can't see it this time of day very well, but there's literally just a picture of what the inside looks like. It's not the actual inside. You can't actually look in there. But yeah, so that is the Anvil House, Beneris Manor. For the next house, you're going to go south of the Imperial City all the way down to Leyawiin. Go to the Leyawiin Castle fast travel. And then you're going to head into this door. You're going to want to go here between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m., I think it is. Hello? Except on Sundos. Don't go here on Sundos because he'll be in church. You can try to find him there. But there's going to be a guy named Count Marius Caro. And what you're going to do is you're going to persuade him to like you. You can play the minigame or you can bribe him, whichever way. You need 60 disposition with him. And then ask him about buying a house in town. And it's going to be 7,000 gold. So go ahead and take that house. The house is in the middle of town, northern end of the middle of town. And on the very north end of town is an area called the Best Goods and Guarantees right here. You're going to need to go into here. Inside of here is a guy named Gundalas. You're going to talk to this guy. You're going to barter with him. He's going to have $7,000 worth of upgrades at base cost in order to upgrade this house. Then head back to this spot right here. Zoomed in, it's going to look like this. This is the house. It's actually probably the crappiest house in town as far as cosmetics. It's a very overpriced, humble home for very overpriced, humble adventurers. So this one's got a lot of barrels for storage, chests. It has a desk, a cupboard, and let's see, it has, that's pretty much it. One more drawers right here, and then a queen-size bed. So it's not horrible for staying organized just because there's a lot of different storage containers. Now to Bruma on the northern part of the map. Go to Castle Bruma. Again, you want to be here between 10 a.m. and I think 6 or 8 p.m. Go inside of here and you'll find the Countess Narina Carvane. If your fame is higher than 10, you're going to have to talk to this guy named Tolgan first. And you're going to start a whole quest line before you get to talk to her and get the house. Afterwards, talk to her again, persuade her or bribe her until she likes you with a 60 disposition or higher. Then ask about buying a house in town. This one costs 10,000 gold. And after you get it, you're going to come down out of the castle, turn right over to the Nova Roma right here. Inside of here is a guy named Surutan. I don't know if that's how you say his name at all. Bartering with him, you're going to be able to buy the upgrades for this house, and there are a lot of them. It's going to cost you around 10,000 gold, depending on your mercantile and all that, if you haggle. To find your house, fast travel to the East Bruma Gate, take the first right, and it'll be the first house on the right. This is your Bruma house that cost a bunch of money. This is the first house where things start to get really, really nice. So we actually have a downstairs. We also have this door right here that leads into an area with a bunch of storage and a bed, along with another chest. There's lots of chests and barrels and things to store all your stuff in here. The top floor, again, 2 chests. You're going to have shelf. You have, no, that one's not drawers, never mind. You have a fancy dining area. You have a cupboard over here by a fireplace with another storage chest. It's just a very, very fancy home. It's the first real home, the cheapest home that's going to be actually fancy. Next is Shadenhall on the eastern side of the map. Go to Castle Shadenhall and head inside. You're going to want to go here between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. or it's 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. And there's Count Andel Indaris. You're going to talk to this guy. Again, you're going to have to bribe him into liking you, or you're going to have to play the mini game to make him like you. Then you can buy a house in town for 15,000 gold. Fast travel to the west gate, and the second store on your left will be Borbo's Goods and Stores. You're going to talk to Borbo Gra Uzgash, and this person has all the upgrades for the Shadenhall house. The total cost for the Shadenhall house is going to be somewhere around 30,000 gold. You might remember this house from the beginning of the video. It's actually not the most expensive house. I have my houses mixed up. This house is in the southwest corner of Shadenhall. It looks like this. It's your first ultra fancy house. Extremely fancy house. You even have a wooden destroyed box in the backyard. Pretty fancy. The interior is loaded up with paintings. There's a barrel. There's a fireplace. A dining area. There's a staircase that goes upstairs. A desk over here for you to work on, even though nothing like that actually exists in the game. Lots of storage in one convenient place right here. We have more cupboards over here. We have random stuff that you can't actually store anything in, but it sure looks like you can, but you definitely can't. Drawers, cupboards, more stuff, drawers, chest, and a very luxurious queen bed with some more poorly drawn paintings in the background. Now head to Coral. Go to Castle Coral. I don't know if I'm saying Coral. It might be Choral. I don't know. Go to the Choral Great Hall. Same rules apply. You want to go here during the day in order to have the Countess at the chair. And then what you're going to do is raise your disposition to 60 here, and then buy a house in town. Actually, I think you might need 70 for this one, so let's take it up to 70. Okay, let's buy a house in town. There we go. It's 20,000 gold. It's a deal. Now, something else you need to know about this one. This is the first house where it starts requiring fame. So if you don't know what your fame is, go to your character and go to the details and then scroll down and find your fame. If you do not have enough fame, the easiest way to raise your fame is to go to the Imperial City Arena and do the arena quest line by just winning arena battles. Each arena battle gives you 1 fame. If you can't do that because you're playing on master difficulty and can't seem to beat them, then instead you could do the Mages Guild quest line. There's a Mages Guild in every single of the major towns, and you go there and do recommendation quests for all of them to unlock the Arcane University. By the time you get done with that, you'll have like 20 to 30 fame. Those are 2 different ways. You can also do it from the Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood. There's just doing quests in general. Lots of things give you fame. You're going to need 12 fame in order to get this house. Now fast travel to the south gate and then turn left. Right here is going to be a store called the Northern Goods and Trade. Inside of here you'll find Seed Nias. I don't know if that's how you say it or not. And you're going to barter with this person, and you can buy all the upgrades for the house. After getting all of them, it'll roughly cost you, depending on your mercantile and bartering, it'll cost somewhere around 40,000 gold for this house with all the upgrades. Find this area towards the middle of town right here. Has the Fighters Guild, the Mages Guild. This is your first extremely fancy real estate. Right next to the Mages Guild and Fighters Guild, it's conveniently your new house. So let's take a look at the outside. You even have storage on the outside. I don't know if that's permanent storage. I'd be afraid to use it. You have a whole backyard with this little ramp so you don't have to jump over the wall if your acrobatics is like 0. And other than that, there's just rocks and grass and pretty much nothing. This house is also extremely fancy. We got a cupboard. We have very fancy chairs to sit in. We even have like a wooden couch. I don't even know what to call that. There's a name for that. I don't know what it is. There's a barrel. There's a cupboard. There's a desk. There is an insanely fancy dining area that you'll sadly never be able to use because there's nothing that really uses that in this type of video game. If we go out to the right, there's the bedrooms. It's a separate instance, and there's the suite, which is a separate instance. This house even has separate instances for the rooms. So inside here is very fancy. We got drawers. We got a bunch of fancy stuff. It's pre-furnished with stuff that you'll never use that's not actually worth very much money. A cupboard, a chest at the foot of your very luxurious queen-size bed. I don't know, it doesn't look like king size. I think it's just queen size. Then we're going to head back down to the house, go down the stairs, up the stairs to the Arbor Watch bedrooms. And inside of this instance, you have a window. And on the right, you have a guest bedroom, not even less smaller than a twin size. I don't even know what size bed that is. There's a desk, a chair, a very fancy window that you sadly can't see outside of, drawers, a chest, and a cupboard for your guest that you'll never have because that's not how this video game works. A cupboard and another guest bedroom with another one of those poorly drawn nature paintings above it. So this house is honestly very, very fancy. Now for the most expensive and fancy of all the homes, we have Skingrad. Go to Castle Skingrad and enter the courtyard. From here, you're going to go through here to the county hall. You're going to have to wait until between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. If you don't see this guy at first, try leaving the room, coming back in the room. If you can't find him there, try the inn in town instead of going to the castle. There's Shumgro Yaruga. He's the butler. So he's here between 10 a.m. Well, he sleeps here too in the wine cellar, but he's here between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. And he can also be found in the inn between 10 a.m. and some other time. I don't remember. So you talk to this guy about buying a house, but first you have to persuade him to like you. You can play the minigame like crazy, or you can just bribe him. You need a disposition of at least 70. Then ask about buying a house in town. It's 25,000 gold for this one. Now you're going to fast travel to the west gate. From here, you're going to take the first left, and then here on the right will be the Colovian Traders. Inside of here, you'll find a guy named Gunder. You're going to barter with this person. They have all of the upgrades for this insanely fancy house. Once you get all these upgrades, it's going to set you back roughly 50,000 gold for this house. Before you leave, be sure to talk to this person, Aja. If you've bought the servants' quarters, this person will offer to be a servant. So then you'll have a servant in your super fancy, ultra luxurious home. Head on over to the East Gate fast travel. From here, you're going to see this road on the left. It's this house on the corner, this insanely fancy house. It even has a little tiny backyard, which is super rare for this city. And it even has its own broken crate that's completely pointless. If you head inside, you'll be greeted with a beautiful entrance with a fireplace. On the left is a ton of storage. We have a barrel, a cupboard, a chest. We have a dining area. We even have display cases, which I don't even know if you put your stuff in here and then close the case, if it'll even stay. I have no idea. There's a cupboard here. There's a door right here to the basement. We have over here a giant display case. Drawers galore. There's desk right there. There's this stuff right here. You can put your stuff here. I don't know if it would stay or not, though. There's a chest right here. Very fancy for storing things like jewelry, maybe. And then if you look through here, there's a wooden door to Skingrad. We can open this door. I think this is the only other house with a balcony, actually. I wonder if we can jump across to the neighbor's balcony. We actually can if our acrobatics is high enough. I just don't think we can jump back. Oh, maybe we can. Oh, we can. Over here, we have more display cases. We have a chest. We have more furniture for all the guests we'll never have. There's a chest right there. And up here's the top floor. We have more fancy, poorly drawn paintings. We have an insane desk here to work at. Wow, a triple desk, whatever those things are called. We have a fireplace in the bedroom. We have drawers, a chest, a cupboard. Very modest bed for such a fancy house. And then a cupboard, nice windows, good lighting, a display case, a place to eat in the bedroom, another display case, a chest, more of the cabinets or shelves, I mean. And at the very bottom was that basement. Let's take a look at what is inside of this basement. So inside of here, we have more storage, lots of storage, tons of storage. And we even have the servant, who totally kind of startled me, honestly. I didn't expect anyone in here. And I don't even know what she does. Drink. Certainly. And food. Oh, she added food or meat to my inventory, and she added a shepherd's pie to my inventory. So that's really probably all that she does. But hey, we have a servant. That's all of the standard city houses. Next up, we have these special houses. Each of these came from one of the DLCs back in the day, but the DLCs are included in the base game. So there's 4 of these special houses, and they don't really cost money, but they cost a lot of money to upgrade. The first one's on the east side of the map by Chorrel. You go over here, it's Chorrel, Coral, I don't know, but Battlehorn Castle at the end of this road right here, at the end of the block road. There's going to be a bunch of marauders here fighting some people. You're just going to go ahead and kill the marauders. If they're glitched like me and they're not fighting, don't worry about it, just kill them anyway. What you got to do is you got to clear all of the enemies out of the castle until this guy's willing to speak to you. Afterwards, he'll be like, oh, thank you for the help. Now you're the lord of the castle. And now that you're the lord of the castle, you can tell these people to follow you or return to their duties. And these people will follow and they'll fight alongside you until they're dead. And once they're dead, I don't think they ever come back. So Battlehorn Castle is pretty insane. You get your own castle. It's gigantic. It takes a while to explore. I'm not going to explore it because this video is going to be like 30 minutes if I go into detail in each of these 4 special ones, because there's a lot to know about these special ones. But head on over to the Imperial City Market District, hang a left, go over to the Merchant's Inn. If you're in here during the day, there'll be a guy named Nilphus Omelion. You're going to talk to this guy. Go to the bartering tab, and he'll have all the upgrades for the Battlehorn Castle. So if you want it fully upgraded, just go to this guy. The next DLC house is to the north. You go to Bruma, go to the Wild Eye Stables, and you want to run to the northeast. Once you hit an area on the compass called Dragonclaw Rock, turn to your southeast and head up the mountain. This is the easiest spot that I found to get up, so you're just going to zoom up here. You can just basically walk up this or turn sideways and jump to go faster. This is Frostcrag Spire. Make sure that you go right here on the map, though, to get the fast travel. If you go around it, you'll have to go back. You'll have to run here again. So when you come here, go counterclockwise. If you go over here, the key is in this chest right here, or you can just pick the lock if you prefer. You go to the front of the spire and you can get in. Once you get in, there's a hand with a book on it. Read the book and then leave the spire. Then go to the Imperial City Market District, take the first right, go to the end of the road to the Mystic Emporium. Talk to the woman in here and she will have all of the upgrades for the Frostcrag Tower. Then head back to the Frostcrag Spire and go inside. You should have 2 Mage Tallow candles if you bought everything. If so, activate the Altar of Spellmaking, the Altar of Enchanting, and then you have this amazing place, the Frostcrag Tower. You can also summon an Atronach if you have the salts in order to have them follow you around. There's a bedroom and a personal herb garden, and then there's a vault for storing stuff. And also there's a balcony for this one that has teleports to every mage guild. So basically this one is the ultimate one for anyone who wants to be a major magic user or roleplay in that way at all. The next house is in the southern edge of the map by Leowin. Go to the northeast gate, head south all the way down to this peninsula. It'll look like this destroyed looking building. Go over here between the big tower and the small tower on the right. Go into the water. There's a tree stump down here. Go through the tree stump and through the door. This is none other than Deep Scorn Hollow. So this is a house that's basically meant for people who want to role play as an assassin, vampire, dark brotherhood type character. You start off with a chest over here, you head over to the other side, and you can go up into this area. It's not upgraded right now. There's more stuff when you buy all the upgrades, but you go over here and there's an upgrade you can buy with some guy for vampirism that you can get blood. You can also AFK train stats on him and stuff. And then you can go down here. There's some special gear or something down there when you get certain upgrades and stuff. And you have a trap door right here that you can leave from. Not really going to go into a ton of detail on this one, other than I'm going to show you where to get the upgrades. To the west of the Imperial City across the bridge, you'll find the Walnut Inn. So you can go inside of here, and just around the corner to the left is this guy, Rolly. And he will let you trade with him, and you can buy all of the Deep Scorn upgrades. So there's a lot of fancy stuff there. Some guy you can send out to kill people, but it'll give you infamy. There's a lot to uncover there, but it's basically your assassin house, Dark Brotherhood house, vampire house, that vibe. Now head to the west of the Imperial City, all the way to Anvil. Go out the south side of the city, just south of the castle. You'll be able to see the castle tower like that from the south side of it. You head over here, and there is a cove back here that you can go into. So go straight through at first, go through here and go through this door. And then once you're in here, it'll give you a quest update, and what you need to do is go around and kill all the skeletons. It can be a little bit glitchy with the skeletons, and they can disappear and stuff, and if so, go through this door and come back and forth, and they'll spawn in your face a few times till you kill them all. And don't forget the captain who's over in the captain's quarters is another skeleton that's just like slightly stronger than the other skeletons, Captain Dougal. And you get rid of him, get rid of other skeletons, and then this place is yours. After you clear it, head out to the Anvil docks. You'll see some boats out here. The southeastern boat. You're going to head over to this one and go into the door. Then go through this wooden door and talk to Dahlia. And you're going to ask about cove upgrades. This is the only one where you have to do it through dialogue. They're like 1,000 gold each, except for upgrading your quarters. This is how you get all the upgrades. And then after you get these upgrades, what you can do is you can go into Dunbarrow Cave and talk to one of the people that you hired. And then they'll go on pirate journeys for you, and they'll return after 7 days with money and loot and stuff, and you just do that every 7 days. Now head to the southern part of the map, right here between Skingrad and Breville. There's an area here called the Priory of the Nine. This is the last of the special houses. This one's a little bit weird. So there's this place right here, and you can't really use this safely as a house until you finish the whatever of the 9 quest. I can't remember what it's called. To do that quest, you actually have to go all the way to Anvil, and you have to go to the Anvil Castle Gate. It'll spit you out right here. Make sure you wait till like 1 a.m. or something like that, and there'll be a guy who sleeps over here. He's gone for me because I've done the quest. But there'll be a guy here, you can talk to him, he'll start the quest, and it's a whole hellish bunch of quests. I have a whole video on that. I called it the best armor in the game or something like that. And you go through that whole quest line, and eventually you'll be able to actually use Priory of the Nine as your home. It's a pretty cool house. It comes with its own chapel. It has a stables that is purely cosmetic, I think. And then you head inside. Got a dining room, the secret place you had to go to for the quest, an unlit fireplace. Got like a bunch of bedrooms here and storage chests for all the knights. I think you can just use these chests, but if you do it before the quest is done, I'm pretty sure it'll delete everything you have in those chests. So do not use those chests till after the quest line is done. It's a pretty simple house, but it's very interesting. Then we have one more house that's kind of a secret house. It's not really a house. There's Ailswell up here. You go to this place, and on the southeast side of this place, there's an inn. Go inside. There's invisible people in here. They'll talk to you and tell you that they're invisible. They'll want you to go south to the tower right down here and look for some guy who's also invisible. Detect life would be very helpful for this part. He may talk to you on his own. If not, run around to find him until you ask him about the invisibility spell. Tell about Ailswell. Tell me how to reverse it eventually. Can't wait for a year. And then you can ask him some more questions if you want, and then you're good to go. You should have an item called Reverse Invisibility, equip it, and then go back to Ailswell, go to the middle of the garden, and then cast it like a normal spell. It'll make everyone visible again, and then you'll go back into the inn. Once you get back in here, this guy will talk to you. He will thank you by giving you a bed that you'll never have to pay for. It's going to be upstairs, and I think it's this one on the left. And so this is going to be a bedroom with some drawers, and there you go. I don't know if the drawers are permanent storage or not, to be honest with you, but this is the other, basically a house. So if you're just at the start of the game, this is probably the best house because you can't afford any of the others. So now it's time for some ranking. Let's rank these houses from worst to best. So coming in at the worst spot, in my personal opinion, is none other than Leyawiin. The reason for this, it is overpriced and it looks like hell. So why even pay that much for something that looks terrible and isn't even that great compared to some of the other crap ones? Next up, we have the Dunbarrow Cove. This one's really terrible, honestly. I mean, it's just for the funness of the pirate thing. Other than that, you have to go through all across the water. You have to get in the cave to run through just to get to a bed. Like, it really is not that great. The next worst is the Imperial City House. The only selling point for this is it's the cheapest house. You can get it early and feel safe that your stuff is stored away. Other than that, it's ugly, it's terrible, and it's in a very inconvenient spot, pretty far away from the fast travel, so you always have to run a little bit to get to it. The next worst is going to be Skingrad. The only reason you get this house is because you're rich and you just want to buy the most expensive home. And the other good thing about it, though, is that it's near the East Gate, so you can fast travel to it pretty easily. But once you get in there, the bedroom, you have to go all the way up the stairs. It's kind of annoying to get to. And there's really not anything that special about it. And even the location, it's just kind of an ugly location. It's not really standalone or anything. I'm not a big fan. Next on the list is Bruma. So it's pretty good. It's not as good as some of the others, but it's not that bad. It's the cheapest fancy home. And also the location is super convenient where you just go to the right. And there it is, really close to the fast travel. You don't have to go running through town to get to it. It's got a lot of storage. Like I said, first fancy house, and it's the cheapest of the fancy houses. It's a very nice compromise at a modest price. Then we have the Priory of the Nine. I mean, this one's pretty cool, but almost only from a roleplay perspective. You got a church, you got a stable, you got this house. It's got all the beds in it. It's just like, it's cool, but it's got like zero utility. It's in the middle of nowhere, and I don't know, it's purely just a roleplay. But I mean, it's cool. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of an odd one. Next up is the house in Shadenhall. It's really pretty. It's got some downsides, which is kind of far from the fast travel. Not too bad, though. But the thing that I like about it the most, there's two things. There's a centralized storage right here, which is super convenient. It's all just in one place, a big chunk of it. And the other thing is when you're done here, you have to leave a building to fast travel. You can be checking your storage. You have this cool, just jump over the balcony and drop down to the door and get back out. So I think this one is pretty cool. It's not the best, but it's pretty high up there. If you want a fancy mansion home, it might be the best of the fancy mansion homes, honestly. Next up is the mansion in Anvil. This one's really nice because it's one of the only two that has a balcony, but it's not as good as the Shadenhall one, in my opinion, some of the others. But the main thing is it's so cheap. It's just 5,000 gold and a quest. So if you are strapped for cash, it's going to be a much better option. It's a much better compromise for a lot of you. This one's debatable, but the one in Breville is pretty high on the list, even though it's in a terrible location and it's annoyingly far from the fast travel and it's kind of crappy. It's relatively affordable, but if you are in the Thieves Guild, there's a fence who lives directly above you. So you can store all your stuff in the house, and if you ever want to sell it to the fence, it's above the house. So honestly, it might not actually be this high on the list, but it's pretty darn good. That's a pretty nice selling point. What's even better than that, though, is Battlehorn Castle, because the fast travel on this one's actually really convenient. The only issue is the castle is gigantic, so the fast travel doesn't really help you that much, but it's definitely aesthetically really, really cool. You even have this little crank handle in order to open the gate, and it's just a really fun one. It's just not very convenient feeling. The fast travel is convenient, but the place is so big and spread out that it gets kind of annoying. But I mean, who can beat having a castle? I mean, this thing's just really cool overall. Even better than that, though, is probably Deepscorn Hollow. This one, just because of the vibe, the vampire stuff, there's a lot of cool utility things in here, from the guy that you can beat on in order to get your blade skill and blunt skill and hand-to-hand combat up and whatever else. There's lots of just utilitarian purposes here. There's some cool stuff here. I think you can cure vampirism here. It's got nice vibes. It's really cool. It's a little inconvenient from the fast travel because you got to jump in the water and swim around and stuff. But overall, I'd say it's worth it. It's pretty darn cool. Then, even better than Deepscorn, in my opinion, is the house in Chorrol. And the main reason for this, it's fancy, it's good, but its location is amazing. It's literally right next to the Mages Guild, right next to the Fighters Guild, and right around the corner are a bunch of stores. And I just think Chorrol in general, Chorrol, whatever the place is called, I think it's just a good city with a good setup. It's very easy to navigate. It's just a nice location with a nice mansion. And that leaves us with the best. None other than Frost Crag Spire up here in the northern edge of the map. The fast travel, it's a little bit annoying how far the fast travel is from the entrance, but this one's really the best. You can make spells here. You can enchant gear here. You can summon Atronachs to follow you around. It has a great storage area. It has a good living quarters. The living quarters has tons of herbs that you can use and just pick every 3 days if you want to. It also has a great just like cinematic view from that top tower that you can teleport to. It also has teleports to all the Mages Guilds, which isn't really that great. It's cooler than it actually is. But also it's very compact. It's easy to just get to everything inside of the building, whereas a lot of other buildings, you have to go left, right, all around. You have to go run for a little bit to get to anything. This one is very compact. Everything's there. You can chant here. You can make spells here. It's just got everything, man. I can't justify using anything else when I play the game unless it's purely for some cosmetic roleplay emotional reason. I mean, Frostcrag is really just it. And that's all the houses in the game. I mean, there's like Inn, and there's like an abandoned shack somewhere, and I could have included a few more little garbage things like that. Even Ayleswell Inn was kind of a stretch. I didn't even include it in the rankings because it's technically an inn, guys. So, you know, if I had to put it in the rankings, I would say it's better than the house in the Imperial City, just because you don't have to pay 2,000 gold to get a bed and maybe a storage. I never tested it. Maybe you can store things there. But anyway, guys, I hope this helped you out. It took a while to make this thing. This video was honestly kind of awful to make, but it was interesting finding out about all the houses. I'd never actually seen them all before, even though I played this game twice over the last 20 years. But yeah, so that's all the houses, guys. Hope it helped you out. This has been my ultimate housing guide, and my houses ranked from worst to best in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered.